If hard work made people rich, the poorest would be the hardest workers. Money doesn't come from labor, it comes from the system that creates it. Here's how it really works. You were taught a simple story, probably in a classroom or at the dinner table. Work hard, save your money, be responsible. It's a clean narrative, it feels fair. But if that story were true, if effort was the main variable for success, wealth would be spread far more evenly. It isn't. We all know it isn't. And that's because the money we use doesn't reward raw effort. It rewards position. It rewards understanding of the system itself. The story you were told wasn't a lie, exactly. It was just incomplete. It gave you the rules for survival, but it left out the rules for winning. Hard work is absolutely necessary to stay in the game, but it's not how you get ahead. To understand that, you have to understand what money has become. It wasn't always this way. For a long time, money was a tangible thing, a piece of gold, something of actual physical value. Then it became a paper claim on that gold. But today, it's something else entirely. Look at your bank account. It's just numbers on a screen. Money is not value, it is a claim on value. It is a permission slip that allows you to command the time, the labor, the goods, and the resources of others. And this modern money, these digital numbers, are not backed by gold. They are not backed by the productivity of a nation. They are backed by one thing: debt. Every dollar, every euro, every yen is an entry in a ledger, a promise to pay, an IOU. We live inside a debt-based system. That is the fundamental rule. So, who creates this money? Most people, if you ask them, will say the government, the central bank. They print it. But that's only a tiny fraction of the story. The vast majority of the money in the economy is not created by any government entity. It's created by private commercial banks, the same banks where you have a checking account. And they do it every single day. When a bank gives you a loan for a house, car, or business, it does not lend you someone else's savings. It doesn't check the vault for extra cash. It simply types numbers into your account. New money, created out of thin air at that very moment. But here is the fatal flaw, the part of the equation that changes everything. The bank creates the principal of the loan, but it does not create the money needed to pay the interest. Think about that for a second. If all the money in existence is the principal from a loan, but all of those loans also have interest attached, where does the money to pay the interest come from? It has to come from more loans. More debt must be created to service the old debt. The system requires permanent exponential growth of debt simply to stay alive. And this is why you feel like you are constantly falling behind. Because money enters the economy as debt, inflation is not an accident, it is a mathematical certainty. The constant expansion of the money supply means your cash savings are designed to lose value over time. It's a feature, not a bug. It encourages borrowing and spending to keep the whole system moving. It also means that wages, which are always a lagging indicator, can never truly keep up with the price of assets, like housing or stocks. The money flows towards those assets first, pushing their prices up faster than your paycheck can ever grow. This isn't a malfunction of the system. It's the system functioning exactly as it was designed to. If you are standing still, saving cash, you are losing. This reality creates two distinct roles within the system. There are the people who trade their time for money, and there are the people who own the things that benefit from this constant money creation. Labor, your salary, gets diluted by inflation. Every new dollar created makes the dollars you earned with your time worth a little bit less. Assets, on the other hand, absorb that new money. They act like a sponge. Real estate, stocks, businesses, their value rises as the supply of money increases. This is the real divide. It's not about hard work versus laziness. It's about the kind of income you rely on. Hard work keeps you afloat. Ownership is what moves you forward. So why isn't this taught in school? Why is the most fundamental mechanism of our economy treated like a state secret? Because the system doesn't need everyone to understand it. In fact, it functions better if most people don't. It needs a predictable population, one that will reliably work, borrow, and consume in that order. A steady supply of labor and a steady demand for the debt that creates our money. That is the fuel. If everyone truly understood how money is created out of debt and that their savings and wages were being systematically devalued, they would behave differently. They would demand different rules, and the system as we know it would have to change. Ignorance, in this case, is functional. This doesn't mean you're doomed. It doesn't mean the game is unwinnable. It just means the game is different than the one you were told you were playing. This isn't about finding some new motivation or trying to work even harder. This is about understanding. It's about seeing the architecture of the system with clear eyes. Once you see the rules, once you understand how the board is laid out, you can stop playing blind. You can finally start making your own moves.